Welcome to the 5G podcast.
We're glad you're here.
We hope you enjoy our conversation about God, guns, games, goals, and gastronomy.
Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode. Welcome. Now we're situated, arms down for at least 5 minutes before we subconsciously start putting back up there.
I think one of these episodes, just to mess with Ryan, we should just hold hands the entire time.
The whole episode. Like, this is the thumbnail now. We're rebranding. Tell you what
Fine, that's on OnlyFans.
Tell you what the 6th G is.
That took me way longer than it should have.
No, there's no funny business going on here. Not to say that that's funny. I mean, you can do what you want, but we won't.
Do what we want?
No. We're both happily married men in separate marriages, not together.
2 women.
Yes. Yes. Straight as an arrow. Classic. Okay. Bring it in. Family friendly show. No.
It's definitely not.
It's not.
I think I've said retard too many times.
Yeah. That wasn't even that bad.
No. Compared to some of the other jokes we made off camera.
Yeah. Some podcasts where they just say ridiculous things and then they're like, can you edit that out? And I'm like, they did not edit that out. No, we're trying to keep it family friendly. No.
Or like YouTube videos where people are interviewing other people and they like say a joke and like, oh, you'll just edit it out.
Yeah, you'll edit that out.
They keep it in. You're like, that's funny.
Thanks. That's funny. Editors like, I got you. Unfiltered content.
Yeah. It's very funny. Anywho.
Video games.
Video games. Last week we talked about the Xbox
Showcase,
whatever it was called.
Something like that.
And how Doom, the old world, the new world, the old world.
Old World Order. Doom the Dark Ages.
That's right.
Yeah.
What was I thinking of?
Captain America?
I don't know.
The New World? Brave New World?
New Order? I don't know. Anyway, the Dark Ages.
The Dark Ages.
And you mentioned that. Who mentioned? One of us mentioned.
Probably.
Anyway, it brought up Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal.
Yes.
Good games.
From the new Doom trilogy now.
Yeah. I purchased on a huge sale Doom Eternal for $10.
Yeah, that's big.
And I saw it, so I wish listed it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like Steam sent me an email. Usually Steam sends you an email. It's like, look, a game on your wish list is 5% off, and you're like, oh, okay.
Geez,
so
thanks.
instead of $70, it's $65, right?
Woo.
Like, yay.
Yeah.
But they sent me the email, and I was like, I clicked on it, and I was like, oh, Doom Eternal. Then I like looked at the price. I was like, what the heck? It was like 90% off, or something ridiculous. 80% or whatever the math is. I don't know, but it was $9,
significantly marked down.
$10, right? $9.99. So I was like, I mean.
And for that game,
that's less than a Taco Bell order.
Yeah,
like
exactly. And it'll last much longer than Taco Bell.
Indeed. In fact, the first level lasted about 4 times, probably 7 times longer than
a Taco Bell.
That Taco Bell order does.
Yeah.
I don't know, hour and a half on that first level.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, maybe not. That's probably total time playing so far is an hour and a half.
Okay. I'd say an hour, probably, especially as you're kind of learning and.
Well, I did like the tutorial, and I was like walking around and like
definitely
the first like little bit of the first level is like they're like redoing the tutorial basically.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, okay.
But the levels on that game are pretty episodic.
They're very Halo-esque.
Yeah, definitely.
It felt like Halo.
You're going through, it's the story's like big and evolving. You're jumping through the level, trying to find collectibles and slaying demons all the time.
But yeah, that was really fun. That was something I didn't know, is that all the little collectible thingies.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they put a puzzle game inside of my shooter? Yes.
It's pretty fun. Yeah.
And like, they're not hard puzzles. Or like, it's just like, wait, there's a hole in the roof there. How do I get up to that hole?
He's like, okay, I gotta jump around, parkour.
And you're like trying to look at the map, and you're like, there's nothing on the map. Yeah. It's so anyway, Steven's recap of playing the first level is 1. How does anyone ever beat that on the hardest difficulty?
Yeah.
Because I was on the lowest difficulty and I was like running around for my life. Like I felt like I was just running around, dying the entire time.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't. I didn't die.
But it feels like
it feels like it. And then, like, some of those enemies, like, are super difficult.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They all have a little catch, a little secret to them. Kind of like in an arcade way. Just, you got to know how to beat each enemy.
Yeah, the secret is a chainsaw to the face.
Oh, usually that is the weakness of every demon.
Except for the little spider guys with the turret tail on the back, or like the scorpion-looking guys.
Yeah, arachnodrones or something.
Those guys suck.
Yeah.
The floaty eyeball guys. Those guys are easy. You just throw a grenade into them.
Caco demons, yeah.
You just throw a grenade into them and it was whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then my favorite thing so far is the guns and the different like modes you put them into.
Yeah, yep. Told you there's a little bit of customization every gun, yeah.
That is so cool. And like you're just like, I need a grenade launcher for this situation. Well, guess what the shotgun does?
Yeah. I don't know if you've unlocked like 2 modes on the same gun so you can swap back and forth. Yeah. You just like pull off the front half of the shotgun and slap a new one on. You're like, sure. Now it's got a grenade launcher on it.
Now it is a grenade launcher.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. Now I stick on 5 barrels. Now it's fully automatic. You're like, what?
Yeah. I haven't found that one as useful.
No, it's not.
The grenade launcher is much more.
Grenade launcher's so good, yeah.
Like
even later when you get the spoilers, the actual iconic Doom shotgun, the double barrel, you still go back to that first shotgun for the grenade launcher.
Yeah.
But the double barrel is superior in almost every aspect.
Yeah. What are the overclocks? That's not the right word.
That one doesn't have it does have 2 upgrades, but it doesn't swap modes. It just has a grappling hook.
Oh, nice.
And so then you just get different upgrades for the grappling hook.
Fair enough.
And one is like you light the hook on fire, so you light a demon on fire, and then you pull yourself to the demon and.
Yeah, I have the assault rifle type gun.
Yeah.
The second gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have the sniper overclock for that one.
Oh yeah, that one's fun.
That one's so just like it uses so much ammo.
Yeah, it does.
But like, it's so nice because like you're going into an area and you're just like, I don't want to deal with 7 of those guys.
Yeah.
Pick off 4 or 5 of them. And you're like, all right, that's more reasonable. Then you go down and you chainsaw one in half and you have all your ammo back.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, a lot of people kind of complain about that game with the ammo mechanics and whatnot because it's compared to.
I think it's great.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think it keeps it fresh. It keeps it fun. In Doom 2016, you could basically just use like 1 or 2 guns, like the whole time. You're like, and then you just keep getting ammo for those ones. People are like, I have to swap to all my guns in this one. You're like, well, yeah. Also, different guns are good against different enemies, so you should be. It's supposed to kind of get your adrenaline pumping as you're running around. You're like, okay, this demon, I need this weapon. Okay, and then the next guy swap to the shotgun, and
yeah,
it's supposed to be high adrenaline.
I was chatting with Caleb about it, and I go, "There's one difference in my view. It felt very Halo-esque to me, right? I don't know, like Halo 2 or something like that.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
One of the earlier Halos, and I think it's." I don't know why, but like, I think Doom is better in like a story arc sense.
Okay.
Just for my brain, right? It's like the Covenant. You have like the tiers of enemies, and then like the highest level in the Covenant is the Prophets, and they're like these weenie little grub-looking things, right?
Yeah, sure.
And it's like, I mean, I know you're religious zealots, but like, why are the brutes not the like?
Because they're dumb.
Yeah, but there's like, I mean, like, you know what I mean, right?
But they're really strong, and there's a lot of them. Yeah, yeah.
And then in Doom, it's like, like the first like scene where you see like the main like chick who's like 77 feet tall.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, yeah, she could destroy everything.
Yeah, she's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find out some of the story the more you delve in. It's really cool. She's like an angel, because in Doom world, there's like your world, the mortal realm, and then there's like hell and like heaven. But like,
and then there's Doom guy.
Yeah, the Doom guy. She's like an angel, so she's from heaven, but she like was trying to like suck the power. The demons were like getting energy from humans dying, like soul energy, and she's like, well, I want some of that. So like she made a deal with the demons, they'd start siphoning some soul energy to the heaven place, and the story gets wacky and wild because by the end you go to hell and you kill some demons, you go to heaven and you kill some demons, like, and you fight some of the angel people later who are like been corrupted. The story gets wacky there. The DLC is just like take your mind to another planet. You're like, I didn't even think this was possible.
Yeah.
To expand upon the story, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and finish the whole campaign eventually.
Nice.
It's gonna probably take a little while.
That's fair.
I'd say like an hour a week.
Well, if you have like an hour, it's good. You're like, oh, I'll boot up the next level. Like,
yeah. And honestly, this is what I was surprised about. I was worried that like when you have games that have so many different controls and so many things you have to do and all that, like it's like, oh, you have to switch between the aspects of your guns, and you have to switch, like you have to toggle that aspect on and off.
It's very fast.
You have to melee them, and if you melee them with a normal melee, it gives you this, but there's also the chainsaw melee, and then there's like all this other stuff, right?
A lot of stuff.
Switching between guns and like all this crazy stuff, right?
You have ammo, you have armor, you have
flamethrower and grenades.
Grenades, yep. You have 2 separate grenades yet?
Just one.
Okay, I won't spoil it.
Just one grenade launcher. I have a flamethrower. I just got the flamethrower.
Well, later you'll get a button to swap between your 2 types of grenades.
Yeah. So I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Honestly, like the way they introduce everything, it's not just all at once, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's like little by little, and it makes it super easy to like pick up. Like I felt like I was like just like a demon killing machine.
Yeah.
The entire time. I wasn't like, I can't figure out this like switch between these. Like I can't figure out my mechanics. You know?
Right.
It's like no. It's like, oh, I have a grenade now. Cool, grenade.
Yeah. If a game's gonna be frustrating, you want it to be like, how do I word that? Like frustrating, but also you can see a clear path forward.
Yeah.
Like if a game, if it's just like the controls are frustrating or they're just throwing too much at you, and you're like, all right, this is kind of dumb. But if a game is like frustratingly difficult, you're like, oh, like I keep dying on this part, but I know how to win. I want to win. That gives you more of a drive instead of just like I'm flooded with too much stuff, or like I can't do these controls. This is dumb, and then you get frustrated and quit. Instead of like frustrated being your driving force to keep playing to get better.
It's like the difference between like a Portal 2 type game. Where it's like, I know I have to hit that.
Yes.
After jumping out of this thing and like, trying to figure out.
You can see it in your head.
And then like you have 2 buttons. It's either the right portal or the left portal. And then ultimately you're going to try to do that and you're going to click the wrong portal 3 times.
Yep. And then you just face plant in the wall.
And die in the water. Right. And you're like,
But I know how to get it.
Yeah. So it's like,
I'll change.
And then once you get it, you're like, yes.
Yeah, exactly. The sense of accomplishment is so good. It's peak.
That's a good game. I should play that with Ryan.
It's good co-op, yeah.
Yeah, Caleb and I played through the second one together.
Yeah, it's a fun one. It's good. Also, I like Portal 2 for like first-person shooter experience because it's not really a shooter.
Yeah,
but it is kind of, you get used to the controls and having a gun and.
Yeah, so there are all those laser robots that like.
It's true.
You can move around.
Yeah. Yeah, the puzzle solving is pretty fun in that one.
Yes.
Yeah, Doom Eternal. Would recommend.
So, before we move off of Doom, I have a question for you.
Oh, yes.
Caleb has an opinion on this. I want to get your opinion.
Okay.
Master Chief versus Doom Guy. Who wins?
It's probably Doom Guy. Especially because I know the story. The end of Doom Eternal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Doom Guy.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's pretty unbeatable.
All right.
Master Chief is great, but...
This is also the conclusion that Caleb came to.
Yeah.
Is that Doom Guy would... Caleb actually said Doom Guy would wipe the floor with Master Chief.
It's like... So, Master Chief has got a Spartan laser, and he's away, like... If he's far away, he might have a chance. But at the very...
Yeah, start him a mile apart, and then...
Yeah, exactly. Again, with, like, unlimited ammo Spartan laser. Or, heck, just give him a Scarab gun. Then... he might have a chance to survive, I think.
Mm-hmm.
In that he gets a couple shots off and he's like, I should probably start running. Or like hop in a banshee and fly away. Because Doom Guy can't fly. least. You're pretty mobile, but
until you have a dragon into the Dark Ages.
Right, yeah. At least can't fly yet. Man, you introduce some new lore on me, but yeah, Doomguy is pretty unkillable. They like had to lock him away in a prison in hell for like millennia, and that's how you wake up at the start of the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like he's basically immortal, and at the end of Doom Eternal, you find out why he's immortal. So it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no opinion because I don't know the Doomguy's lore yet, right? Mm-hmm. But
also, you get 1-ups. You get lives in that game. I don't know if you found any of those collectibles.
Found 2 of them.
Yeah, they're pretty sick. Those last the whole game, so I would stockpile them before the end of the game because I definitely ran out by the end.
You just like when you die, you don't have to restart the level. You just
you just respawn right there at full health. You get like 5 seconds of invulnerability to like run away and hide.
One nice thing is that if you fall off the edge of the map, it doesn't cost a life.
Yeah, it's just like 30 health or something.
Yeah, because there was one parkour part where I think I fell off like 6 times.
Yep. It's like no, you're not dead. Go ahead, try again.
Yeah. And I like did it, and I was like looking at it, I was like, I don't know if I can make this. I tried it and I failed, and I was like,
I can't make that.
I can't make that. I made it eventually.
Okay. You could make it then. That's good.
Yeah. I just was double jumping too early.
Yep.
A tragic error. Anyway.
The double jump. Great game.
Great game.
Great graphics.
Did you want to go on to let's just switch it off. Good thing, bad thing, good thing, bad thing.
Yes, yeah, I think so.
I don't know. We don't have... Do you have an opinion on this next topic, Assassin's Creed Shadows?
We'll save it for later. That one doesn't have to be topical.
Okay.
Or current.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well,
politics this week.
Yeah.
This
is our non-political podcast where we talk a little bit about politics,
just current events that we're interested in, and there was nothing directly related to guns this week, I guess. But I don't think. Or God.
Did you see the congressman who put forward a bill to let people become privateers?
No. Again, right. Important distinction. The U.S. government has allowed that in the past.
Most governments have allowed that in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was...
okay, I like it.
It was basically like... From what my understanding of it was basically it was like an anti-cartel privateer thing, right? So it's like, like the cartels are screwing everything up. So like, if you want to steal some cartel crap, like, and just claim it on your taxes, so the government gets their fair share of it.
Exactly. Right? So the government knows. Yeah.
It's like
fascinating. I wanted it to like. When you mentioned that in my head, I'm like, it would be cool if they just like reinstated old privateer. Like if he just like reintroduced a bill from Congress in 1849 or whatever. Like he's like, yes, and you must own a ship or whatever, like dumb random requirements from back then. Like, yes.
I think it's
privateer.
I don't remember, and I could just be speaking way out of turn here, but I think it's a congressman from one of the Gulf states.
Oh, okay.
And they have their like the drug boats that come from like Colombia up to like Florida and Louisiana and Alabama and stuff like that, right? And so I think he was saying basically like, stop the boats.
If you're off the coast and you see it.
I think it would be the funnest thing to have I feel like you could do a lot of interesting things with like a company that rents out privateer boats.
Oh my goodness.
And you just say like, all right,
that is
a bachelor party for like super rich people is just going
exactly.
up. And
the waiver on that would be ridiculous.
Well, for sure.
Yeah. Even if privateering is legal, I'm sure the company might not be.
I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Don't take anything we say, as true, or you take it with a grain of salt. Because I have
my knowledge of the legality of privateering is so little because I've never thought about it once in my life.
No, not at all. That's not really a modern thing. You hear about that in the history books,
and you hear of like pirates, and you think Somali pirates.
Yeah, right.
Someone on Reddit was like, "This would be super cool, but let's be honest, we'd start importing Somalis really quick."
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
But I was like thinking, like, dude, it'd be really funny to like start a company where you just give like someone like a boat with like a big old cannon on it.
Right. Just like retrofit gunboats and with different military
and just like, all right, drug boats, beware.
You just like market it as like the private Coast Guard or something.
Yeah.
Join the Coast Guard for a day.
I thought it was very, very funny.
Fascinating. I don't know if that's the highest priority bill, but honestly,
no, it's not.
But the amount of things that Congress gets done is so minimal anyway. So like, why not?
I think sometimes these congressmen just like throw bills out there to like
be relevant.
Well, or just like to get their name known. Like, oh, did you hear in 2025 when the I don't know why we turned British all of a sudden. Reverting back to nature, I guess.
Yeah, right. So, they just building their political career or something. I have introduced 72 bills.
None of them ever got voted on.
Yeah, they were all terrible, but I have done 72 bills.
One was to rename the dogfish the catfish.
And one was to change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Oh. This is very funny. Someone suggested online that we should rename it to make sure we're all equal, right? The Gulf of Cuba, United States, and Mexico.
So I've heard that, yeah.
The Gulf of...
Yes, CUM?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Not, United States, all one word.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's fair.
Yeah.
Because Cuba's there too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Cuba's the third part of the Gulf.
Yeah.
More or less.
The Gulf of America. Which, honestly...
It makes sense.
And in Spanish, you talk to any Spanish speaker, from South America, they call the whole continent America.
They call both continents America.
Yeah. Like, it's only in English where we use America and United States synonymously. Mm-hmm. When you're speaking Spanish, you have to say, I am United Statesan.
Yeah.
If you just say you're American, you just mean you're from the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah.
So
most people understand.
Gulf of America kind of makes sense even in other languages, like globally. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Did it need to be changed? I don't know, probably not. But again, Congress does so many other random things. So, like, I don't know, why not? Why not?
Yeah. It's been very interesting. This what, 1 week of President Trump being 2 weeks now.
2 full weeks, yeah. It is February 1st today.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Happy February.
Groundhog's Day tomorrow, don't forget.
Oh, can't wait for that groundhog to tell me what happens.
That's right.
Isn't that like your favorite holiday or something?
It's one of my brother's favorite holidays, just like kind of as a joke, but Groundhog's Day. It's a good movie too, so.
It's a decent movie.
It introduced a concept.
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah, it was revolutionary.
That's very true. That's a very good point. And many movies and many games have followed.
Not my favorite or the best Groundhog's Day movie.
Yes.
I'll admit that.
It did introduce a genre of movie.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's like, to get nerdy on you, an anime, Sword Art Online, is not like a fantastic anime. I don't know, you've probably never seen it. But it introduced the first concept of like, living in a fantasy world. You're from our modern world, and you live in a fantasy world. That's a common genre in anime now because of that. So not the best thing, but it revolutionary, quote unquote.
Sure.
So same thing with Groundhog's Day. Best Groundhog's Day movie, in my opinion, is Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt.
That's a good one.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's a good one. Anyway, politics. Not really politics, though. It's more like culture surrounding politics.
Again, current events.
You want to start with the nomination or the confirmation hearings?
Yeah.
Or you want to start with the press secretary?
Oh, yeah, the press secretary. She killed it this week. Miss Caroline Leavitt.
Yes. The
10 out of 10. Best press secretary we ever had.
I don't know, Kayleigh McEnany.
Oh,
McEnany? Yeah, whatever her name was.
Oh, from the first presidency? First
she was
term.
pretty fantastic.
She was pretty good too, actually. I liked her too, actually. That's fair. Caroline Leavitt, here's the one point I wanted to make. I'm getting to that age where it's really interesting to like see famous people, famous celebrities, and I look at them or like look them up, and I'm like, they are my age or younger.
Yeah.
She's 27 years old.
She's a year younger than me.
I'm like, that is bizarre to think that like I'm 27 and she like has the ear of the president on a daily basis
and speaks to the country on a daily like.
Yeah. Like that. Okay.
She is the mouth of the president to the country.
Right.
Right.
I get that same thing of like watching movies. I'm like, oh, I kind of like this actor, or this actress. I go look them up. 22. I'm like, what?
Yeah, for real.
What? You're a baby. Like,
yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. I saw some stuff about her that's very funny to me. So she's obviously successful.
Yep.
Obviously attractive.
Yep.
Her husband is super wealthy.
Oh, okay.
Like hundreds of millions of dollars wealthy.
Fascinating.
He's also like 60 years old.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And
interesting.
People online, or she was getting some hate for it, right?
Yeah.
And she was
calling her a gold digger or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the guy isn't like a bad looking guy. Right? Like, I saw a picture of him together, and it's like he's like not a bad looking guy.
Okay.
But he's 60 years old. He's like 33 years older than her.
You know, wealthy, successful, probably not his first marriage. Like,
I don't know that actually. But basically, she like responded to it and was like, hey, I find people who are wealthy and successful attractive.
Newsflash.
I don't care about there's a big age difference. Like, who cares? Yeah, I did marry him for the attractiveness that his wealth provides him. And guess what? He married me because I'm a young, hot girl.
Yeah. Good on her. Like,
it's a win-win for both of us here.
Yeah. I think that's the right response then. Yeah, I hadn't heard that. But that, instead of trying to play it like, no,
we actually love it. It's like,
we just love each other very much.
They can love each other. I'm not saying that they don't love each other.
Surely.
Right? But like, the original attraction, right? It's like, yeah, I'm a young hot girl, and he's a reasonably good-looking older man who also happens to have hundreds of millions of dollars.
He will take care of me very well with that money.
And guess what? In 40 years, when I'm 60, he's gonna be dead.
He'll be dead. I'll have all his money.
And I'll be living up the life. Like
exactly. Then she'll marry a young hot guy, and the cycle continues.
And I told Ryan this, and she was like, "Oh, I wouldn't want to have kids with him." I was like, "Why not?"
Yeah, because he might die before he can like take care of the parenting burden, but also you're uber rich, so you get a nanny.
But also, he's 60 right now, right? So if they had a kid right now, he'd be 80 when the kid is 20.
Yeah, he's 60, so he might not have a whole lot of energy when the kid is like young, but he'd be by the time the kid's out of the house,
hundreds of millions of dollars.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
I don't.
Maybe not hundreds. $100 million.
He's very wealthy.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with it. I think she played that well. Instead of be like, oh, no, I didn't even know about his bank account or whatever. Like, no, just tell the truth. Yeah.
And like, I wish more rich people would do that. Yeah. It's like all these like celebrities who are like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
He's like, there's the joke online where it's like, oh, once you hit 30, you're kicked to the curb or whatever.
Right.
We'll date you. It's like, okay, like, but if you're a hot young girl who's trying to like be famous in some aspect,
sure, yeah,
and you have the opportunity to, he's like 50 years old or whatever, but you have the opportunity to date Leonardo DiCaprio, one of the best actors of recent times, right? Or at least one of the most prolific.
Sure, he's a household name, more or less.
Yeah, for sure, and with movies that are like, I mean, some really good movies.
Yeah, decent movie, yeah, definitely.
Would
you not take that opportunity?
Would you not take that opportunity? And for him, he gets to date a young hot model. Or
sure,
whatever. It's like, who cares?
Yeah,
like I don't know why anyone like.
It feels like it almost carried over from like the high school mentality of like, oh, you dating a senior? Ooh.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
When you're adults, age just it doesn't matter that much. When everybody's adults, I'm gonna clarify that. Yeah. But yes, like. An age gap in a marriage, in a partnership is like, who cares? Like,
no,
not that big a deal. Whereas in high school, it's like, I don't know, because when you're maturing, like 1 year can make a big difference. But between a 33 and a 34-year-old, zero difference.
Zero.
So,
Like even like a 30-year-old and a 34-year-old.
yeah. So like age just matters less when you're both older. So
yeah, for sure.
That's fun. So Caroline Levitt is pretty rich and pretty hot and successful.
Yeah,
she's got everything.
There you go.
Not bad.
And is politically powerful.
And, dude, she probably didn't need the money, to be fair, even though she admitted she was attracted to that. Like, again, she has the ear of the president. Like, she's obviously good at her job.
For sure.
She was like...
Well, I think successful people attract successful people as well. So, I don't think she would have been able to marry this guy if she had just been, like, couch potato bimbo.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, all you are is hot? Then probably not marrying this rich guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that most rich people are...
especially seek after like-minded...
Or at least like someone they can have a conversation with.
Oh, yeah. Right. So, yeah, definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Anyway.
Confirmation hearings
there were some funny clips.
Cabinet picks this week. The big one I saw was RFK Jr.
Pete Hegseth was last week, right?
He was last week, yeah. RFK Jr. I heard about Kash Patel yesterday.
The hard R?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was he quoting somebody?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll get.
Was he quoting Joe Biden?
That's funny.
Yeah, I think RFK Jr. was the one I saw the most of. I'm trying to think if I saw anybody else.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, Tulsi Gabbard was also this week. I didn't see anything from hers actually.
Pam was last week.
Yeah.
I still don't remember her last name.
RFK's was great though, because they were like grilling him, and he just like was dishing it right back at him. Like,
yeah, but it was. I saw one funny thing. It was against Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah. I think I saw the same.
It was so funny. She's like, "Do you promise not to ever take any money from the companies?" He's like,
"No."
Yes. Like, obviously, I'm not going to do that. They hate me. You think they're going to pay me?
Right. Yeah.
And everyone was like,
"Okay, yeah." And then and how much money do you guys get? I think he said that one to like Bernie Sanders, actually.
Yeah.
Like, Bernie Sanders, you like get more money from all the companies and backroom deals than anybody. Like,
yeah. Well, so does Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah,
it came out that she's gotten like $1 million this year from like, or I guess last year.
I was trying to say 1 month into the year.
Yeah, last year. I mean,
okay,
2024 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like, you make $250,000 as a senator?
Yeah. A senator might be closer to 300 something, but I think a representative's 200 something.
But like,
president's 400,000. That's the peak. But
yeah, that's the peak for elected office, Trevor.
Correct. Don't forget Dr. Fauci, the highest paid unelected official in all of America.
Yeah. What was his annual compensation? It was like 700 or something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, the official compensation probably
it's crazy,
close to $1 million.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Plus all the backroom deals with the NIH and all that crap.
Exactly. It's fascinating that these.
How much stock did he own in Wuhan, do you think?
Oh, jeez.
Well, subsequently in Moderna.
They funded the lab. That's
what I'm saying.
That's
what were those kickbacks looking like?
Yeah. Oh, let me see. If I approve to fund the lab, and then I buy stocks in the lab, and then money. Whoa. Is this insider trading?
Money.
It's funny, yeah. The confirmation hearings are supposed to be about like digging through everything about the cabinet picks, and then like there's more come out about the like senators that are grilling the cabinet picks. Like Bernie Sanders is the highest paid senator or whatever, like or received the most like cash donations from constituents and companies, lobbyists. You're like, okay. And then he retires to his 4 mansions. The self-avowed socialist.
Mm-hmm. I hate socialists.
Well, we don't have to get on that soapbox today. That's okay, Steve.
Climbing down from the soapbox. It's a very large soapbox.
You said the trigger word.
There's a YouTuber. He's called the Fat Electrician. I think
you told me about him. Yeah,
he's so funny. He has a T-shirt and one of his pieces of merch is it's like a stylized something or other. I don't remember, but it just says, "My autism hates communism."
I like it.
It's very funny.
That is pretty good. Did you see about the red dye number 3? I think that came out this week. Maybe that was last week.
I think that was last week, but we didn't talk about it. Yeah, they banned that.
Yeah, Congress finally admitted, red dye number 3, that's in all of the foods. Yeah, that causes cancer. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, they've known it's caused cancer for like decades now.
Yeah, and they just like kept it in foods. You wonder, like, if the government has any role, that would maybe be one, to ban cancer-causing substances, but Food and Drug Administration is much more interested in regulating medical supplies for some
making
reason.
Sure that we don't have 60 parts per million of cockroach in our coffee.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's like,
or your peanut butter is probably around that same limit. Yeah.
Yeah. There is like a limit.
Yeah. Yeah. There's an allowable limit of bugs
greater than 0
in your food. And RFK is just like, yeah, so I think that's why I'm the right person for the job.
Yeah, for real.
Because you guys allow this crap.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Let's see. If he just like turns us all into carnivores like him, that'd be kind of cool, I guess. But
yeah, we'll have to see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Cash, yeah. Patel's
Cash Money
hearing, and he got some good zingers in.
Yeah. He's an interesting fella.
Yeah, I don't know what I think about him. I love RFK.
Mm-hmm.
If RFK hadn't dropped out, I might have voted for him for president.
Sure.
Obviously, that didn't happen, but
yeah,
he was in the running for my pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, him being part of the administration, I think is fantastic. Same with Tulsi Gabbard, actually.
Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard's cool.
If she had won the Democratic nomination,
oh geez, yeah,
I think she would be president.
That would have been a tough pick. Yeah, tough fight.
I think she would be president.
Problem is the Democratic Party hates her. So
yes, but if she had been one of the 2 presidential candidates, she would have won 100%.
Yeah, that's a weird thing about primaries and having the party machine run primaries.
Yeah.
So
if the Democrats want to field someone who wins, they had someone right there.
Yeah, and RFK.
And maybe not in 2020, but in 2024 for sure. Yeah, and RFK, to be honest. Yeah, that's a very good point. Anyway,
yeah.
Cash Patel, they were grilling him about, using the FBI as like an anti-immigration force or some bullcrap, right?
Okay.
And like
instead of using it as a second arm of the Department of Justice, like they're using right now.
Yeah.
Well, you want to use.
They were grilling him about a bunch of things he said, and there was something about racism coming up, and like, trying to make sure he wasn't a racist.
Oh, okay. The Indian guy, right?
The Indian guy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he was like, basically his response was, well, I've faced racism before in like real life, and so like,
personally not a fan.
Yeah. And another senator was asking questions, or it came up. So he's like, he quoted some tweets or some what was it, tweets? I think it was tweets or some comments on something or something like that that he had been sent by other members of the country,
disgruntled
and
people.
Maybe it was when, I don't remember when it was. You'll have to look it up. But in Congress or in the hearing, he quotes this person that called him a sand N-word, but he says
the word,
the whole thing.
Yeah, okay.
And everyone was like, "Is that allowed? Is that okay?"
It was.
And he just like kept going, right?
He's kind of brown. Is he allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And everyone was just like, "Is that allowed?"
It's bold.
Which it is allowed, right? Like you can
direct quote.
Yeah. Well,
and also it's a word.
Yeah.
I mean,
not that you should use it, but like in this situation, it wasn't like derogatory.
Yeah, exactly.
Towards anyone other than him.
Anyway. Yeah, right.
So like, it was just like, the internet was like, Cash dropping the hard R in Congress, in a Senate hearing.
Yeah. On the floor of Congress.
Yeah. It's like, that is going to be a permanent record of the United States. That someone in 2025 dropped the hard R. Because, I mean, like, let's be honest. how many of the recordings from like the 1830s, 1840s,
Yeah.
1850s, 18s, like when they're discussing slavery?
Oh, sure. How much of that was kind of...
I mean, that's every fourth word.
Yeah, exactly.
I do declare that we do not have these.
And I joked about it, but Joe Biden had said it before on recording on the Congress floor.
I feel like everyone on
it was a direct quote, again, in the context, but like from, back in the 60s or whenever he was first elected.
So ridiculous.
Such a long time ago.
70s, I think, right?
Yeah, probably 70s.
He was 27 or 8 when he got nominated.
50 years. Almost full.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Kash Patel, director of the FBI. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't love the pick.
Honestly, I would have loved director of FBI. Nobody, because we're getting rid of the FBI. But, all right. That's fine, I guess. Abolish it.
There is there was a little bit of a kerfuffle with the ATF director.
Oh, okay.
He stepped down a couple days before the inauguration so that he couldn't be fired.
Yeah, sure.
This ATF director, under the Biden administration, has been super against 80% lowers and making guns at home.
Yeah, sure.
And pistol braces and all these different things that are legal, but they're trying to make
regulate.
They're trying to rule that they're not legal,
control it better.
Which is where we can have the Bruin decision from the Supreme Court, which is like a landmark decision case for every. It was specifically targeting gun rights, right? Mm-hmm. But it opened a whole can of worms for these quote unquote regulatory agencies to not become regulatory agencies.
Yeah.
Right. They need to be administrative agencies because they're not the ones who are supposed to regulate the country. Congress is the one who's supposed to regulate the country.
Exactly. Yeah, you get the secret fourth branch of government, the bureaucracy, just controlling everything.
And so the Bruin decision was something that upset that balance, so to speak, right? Upset that status quo. Mm-hmm. So anyway, this ATF director resigns, and at his going away ceremony or whatever, bullcrap, right? The ATF gives him an 80% lower.
Like his old organization. Hey, boss.
Here's an 80%, and it's like, for like a little framed one or whatever.
Yeah, engraved.
It's like, here's a paperweight, like.
You might just throw these away because you don't like them, but,
Yeah, and everyone online was just like.
Yeah.
And like, everyone was laughing about it, and he was like, oh, this is so cool, thank you. And it's like. You're a scum of the earth human being.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was funny, I thought.
Man. That is interesting.
There's people online are suggesting that this one YouTuber becomes the
new ATF director. Yeah,
it's very funny.
I mean, honestly,
he's seriously considering it. If he would say yes if they offered it to him.
Yeah, exactly. Like
he said,
look to qualified people. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
the back to the press secretary. They said they're looking at maybe like streamers and content creators. They're going to give press badges to like go to the White House and go to the press
TikTokers and like whoever.
Okay. We just have like the same thing, just like, gun YouTubers at the ATF. Like you just have, Twitch streamers. Like, all right, so we're here in the White House press briefing room. Like,
well, so like this YouTuber is like, in my opinion, I'm a fan of him. So like, I'm biased, obviously.
Sure.
But like, there's not a better fit for ATF director.
Like he knows his stuff.
He's an FFL.
Mm-hmm.
He has an SOT.
Okay.
Which means something trade. I don't remember. It's like a special permit on top of your FFL license.
Okay.
So that you can manufacture certain
parts,
restricted items like suppressors and automatic firearms and short-barreled rifles. I don't remember exactly what it stands for though.
Super official title.
Something. I don't remember. Anyway. He has a business, a gun-making business that is very successful, right? He's got, employees by the dozen. He has 4 million or something subscribers on YouTube. And he's one of the top gun content creators, and he's very educated about it. His whole purpose of his YouTube channel, he says, is to educate people on the safe use of firearms, and that firearms can be both fun and safe at the same time. You know,
nice, yeah.
And he knows guns inside and out. He knows like all the specific details of everything. He dropped out of school, but was in law school.
Okay, yeah.
He ran for Congress. Like,
oh, fascinating.
He's friends with like Matt Gaetz and people like that, right?
Okay, yeah.
And like Don Jr.
Well, that actually would be a decent pick then. I mean, he's even got the networking.
Yeah,
yeah.
And he said like, I would do this in a heartbeat, and I will still make YouTube videos.
Yeah. Hey guys, so what up? We're here at the ATF headquarters.
Yeah.
It's just a fun era we're coming to.
We're gonna go shooting with President Trump today.
Right? Yeah.
Dude, also, I was thinking about this. If I ever become president, the first thing I'm doing is I'm 100% any world leader that comes, we're going skeet shooting, man.
Yeah, right?
For sure.
Like, because you can.
Like, and honestly, I would do it off the top of the White House if they'd let me. What are they going to do, arrest me?
Yeah, right.
I got presidential immunity. I'm fine.
Can't arrest me. This is my house.
Can you imagine? You just see the president and like Vladimir Putin just skeet shooting off the top of the White House.
Oh my goodness.
There's enough land there for them to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Realistically, just out over the lawn, like,
yeah,
be safe.
It would, yeah.
There's nobody there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think birdshot travels more than a quarter mile. So that's only, you know.
All right, make it so.
400 yards.
That'd be a lot of fun.
That'd be so great.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding? I just want to go. Like, I just think that'd be so much fun just to, like, hang out with, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just love shooting and shooting with people.
Yeah. So like if you were in a prolific, prominent position with other prominent people, like, hey man, you want to like go shooting and then like grab some steaks afterwards or something?
Yeah, for real.
Like we don't have a meeting until like, you know, tomorrow, but just keep this unofficial.
Yeah. And it's like, then you can like, you know, and I do it with everyone.
Yeah.
Like anyone who comes.
It's like, hey, you want to go check out the theater room? We'll boot up some Halo 3. Like,
oh, dude.
Yeah.
In 20 years from now, how many trade deals are going to be made while playing like Call of Duty together?
I've heard like jokes and memes about it, right? Of like Obama and Trump are like playing Minecraft or like Biden. Like I've tons of memes about that. It's hilarious, but like that might actually happen.
That 100% is going to
happen. Like millennials are like getting into these prominent positions. Like,
well, what happens when Gen Z does?
Yeah, dude.
Because millennials like have come up through the creation of games almost. It's like of like the modern console, right?
era.
Like Xbox was a thing when like millennials were kids.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
But it came out then, and that was like when that and like the PlayStation, like the first like good consoles,
popular home consoles worldwide. Yeah.
But like, I mean, can you imagine
business deals?
Four presidents of like the biggest countries on earth playing like Brawl together?
Yeah, exactly.
Like Smash Bros. Brawl or something like that.
1v1 me in Smash, bro.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That's gonna be fun.
I hope that happens so bad.
Yeah, I can imagine the headlines in 20 years, and I don't think anybody would be mad about it.
No, it'd be great.
Like, oh, they're playing video games.
I'd rather have them spend the money on an Xbox 73 or whatever they're going to call it in 20 years.
720.
Yeah, because it's greater than 720p now. But I'd rather have them do that than have like these state dinners that are thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
It's like, oh yes, this china was made 77,000 years ago in the Ganges River Valley.
Or, yeah.
Okay, but like, I'd rather just like have McDonald's and play Call of Duty together.
Right.
Like throw some Mountain Dew on the table and call it good.
Bring in some pizzas. Like, yeah, that's, as we mentioned before previously, like, instead of having like C-SPAN, like what's the point of that? Like turn a camera on, get them on Twitch in that room. I want to be a fly on the wall watching those people play video games.
For sure.
I think it would be cool. Especially if Elon stays in the government and be like, all right, and now we're going to boot up Diablo 4 or Diablo 7, whatever they'll have out by then.
PoE 3.
Yeah, he's like, and I am actually playing, as you can see.
Level 3000.
I didn't pay anyone. This is my official account. Yeah, that'd be cool. Again, the headlines in 20, 30 years, I can imagine.
Yeah, for real. For real.
Mario Kart racing.
Well, should we do 2 episodes here, or let's do a card of the week, and then we'll...
we'll do a card of the week. That sounds good. So I had one I was thinking about. I was maybe going to pair this with the Aether Drift cards, because it got me thinking. I don't know if it's been a card of the week. Hopefully not. We've only been doing it over a year, but can't run out of cards already.
Out of the 10,000 cards that exist.
20, 30?
Yeah.
Insane amount. So it'll be a spoiler for our next episode then, roughly. But the next episode has a robot turtle that they have spoiled in Aether Drift. So this was going to be my partner card of that. The previous, not robot turtle, but it is a big turtle. The Kappa, Kappa Cannoneer. Maybe you've seen him. I
have seen him.
He was called Blastoise when he came out.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So it's not a surprise, but it'll be a lead-in for next time then, because next time there's a blue shell straight up from Mario Kart. But looking up old turtles, and these two are arguably the best turtles. So Kappa Cannoneer is the 6 mana 4/4 with Improvise, so you can tap your artifacts to pay for 1 mana. So you get him down to 1 blue mana, which is cool. And then he's got Ward 4, so he's basically impossible to kill. Pretty annoying. And then whenever he or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you put a 1/1 counter on him, and he can't be blocked this turn. So he's actually a 6 mana 5/5 immediately with Ward 4. And then you can just get a bunch of artifacts enter, get a bunch of 1/1 counters, and swing for the hills. Boom.
Did I feel like that guy is super broken in a token, like a treasure creation deck?
He made waves right when he came out, probably 3 or 4 years ago in Legacy. People were like, "Is this actually they made a new card that's actually playable in Legacy, the oldest format?"
Yeah,
and it was fine. The price spiked to $20 as people were trying to get full play sets. I think it won 1 tournament, but then it it either wasn't that good or it was just a new fad. So I mean, his price has dropped down to a much more reasonable range. But the Kappa Cannoneer looks like Blastoise. It's cool.
Yeah, very nice.
Tune in next week for the robot
new
turtle
and more Gear Hulks.
Yes.
Anyway, there it is.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of the 5G Podcast.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks.